How you guys doing? Welcome to the 414 Morning Podcast. I am Armando.
I'm Daryl.
So, before I congratulate the Thunder, not to sound like a hater, but prayers up for Holly.
Right.
Prayers up. It's sad to see that, especially at that big stage, that magnitude of a game, to see somebody go down like that fall hard just to be in that position.
You want to know what it kind of reminded me of? Just based off of like what he was putting up at the time? Steph's injury earlier in the playoffs.
Yeah.
If heaven offer rides, Lord, order me a lift. I'm just trying to be in your presence since you blessed me with this gift. All of my friends dead and gone. No time to right their wrongs. Heaven must have.
Yeah, but at least they were smart, the Warriors, to say, you know what, I know you want to play, but we got to protect you from yourself.
Yeah.
And sometimes with stars, with players, you got to protect players from themselves. They might feel like I'm okay to play and I can give it a go, but sometimes you got to realize you want to miss them for a series or a couple of games, or do you want to miss them for a season or two?
Right.
So far, they have zero luck. And the reason I bring up the number 0 is because, as we was talking about off camera, all the players this season that wore the number 0 has zero luck.
Yeah.
All went down. Dame Lillard, Jason Tatum, Holly.
Same injury.
So yeah, same thing. Like, and that's interesting to me because I was thinking about this on the way here. As I was thinking about, when we were going to record today, I was thinking about it. I'm like, I've never seen a playoff series or a playoff where so many players went down with Achilles injuries. Like, and maybe for people that's at home that love their stats and historians, maybe if somebody could leave in the comments and let me know when the last time you had 3 players go down with Achilles injuries. Can you think of a time?
Damn near every round, too.
Yeah, like, so can you think of a time where...
No, like probably 2011, 12, but those were all different injuries. So, no, I can't say the last time that 3 players went down, 3 superstars went down with an Achilles injury in the same, postseason. It's crazy.
Yeah. But that, so, and we were talking about this again. When we first heard about Holly's calf injury, and I think we said it a couple of episodes ago, where just sitting him down because that calf strain isn't anything to be played with.
Yeah.
That's why we were shocked when he played Game 6. We were shocked. Like, wow, they really got him playing. Because this was an injury, on paper, they said it was going to take him at least 2 weeks to recover from. And he was out there in, 3 days? And I know you're young and you feel like you could just bounce back. But sometimes you got to listen to your body.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to listen to it because it reminds us, like, with KD in Toronto, where he felt good to play. And then that same negative step he had off the rip-through, and then Achilles just blew.
Yeah.
Same thing happened to Holly. Same move. And it just blew. When he went down, I just knew it automatically. Yeah, Achilles. Achilles. Especially when you got that injury, when you go down and it feel like somebody stepped on the back of your leg, or it's that contact injury.
Yeah.
you knew. You knew. I think that's the reason why he was on the floor crying and hitting the floor, because he knew.
Yeah.
He knew. Right? So I'm like, just prayers to go up to Holly. And that brings us to what we was going to talk about before. So a lot of people give LeBron flack over the whole Bubbles championship.
Yeah.
The COVID time. But this championship, I think the reason why it seems so watered down is because there's been so many injuries. So many injuries. Every round has been an injury to big superstars, not role players, but superstars. So I don't know. That's the reason why maybe this finals doesn't really seem like a finals, because it's been injuries across the board with major stars.
Yeah, I think the other thing is, and it's kind of weird because the Thunder have been the best team in the league the entire year. So I feel like what it comes down to is that they didn't get the best competition, and it also kind of showed what you've been talking about the entire postseason, is that matchups matter. That's why like Indiana was able to like give them a run for their money, because matchups matter, and it was a mismatch for them the entire time. That's why it seemed like even when Halliburton went down last night, they just really couldn't put the Pacers away. Like there's something special about that team, but I feel like they hit their ceiling yesterday. I don't envision we see them back next year, the year after. But I feel like even if like Cleveland made it out of the East, we would still be looking at this as probably one of the least watched finals, because it's just, I don't know, the star power is not there. Like it's just, even look at those hats. Like it's just something has just been missing.
Yeah, and then even look at Indiana. They have a lot of young, no-name players. I mean, they made names for themselves in the playoffs.
Right.
But without Holly, you see how much that offense just struggled. So, and not just that, a lot of these younger players for the Pacers, they made names for themselves. So, and we know this with a young team. If you don't win early, that team get blown apart.
Yeah. Because
now people are going to pay them. People are going to pay the Naismiths.
Yeah.
And,
McConnells.
Like, people are going to pay them now. Those are serviceable individuals now. Like, they made a name for themselves. So people are going to start picking apart now your team. So when Holly do come back, what type of team is he coming back to?
Yeah.
Who will be there? Miles Turner this is contract year.
Yeah.
Will he resign? No. I mean, for me, I don't know if I want to give him the max. Not saying that he's a great player, but if I'm looking at that Oklahoma series and that's what maybe it's a fact, it goes farther than that. It goes to the New York series.
Yeah.
Like, he disappeared. He had a great round against Milwaukee, which he always killed Milwaukee. But other than that, he didn't show up. That's one player you needed to show up yesterday that would have changed everything.
Yeah.
And he didn't. So this playoffs has just been, I don't know, it's just been bad as far as injuries go. And I think that's why it's been one of the least watched finals, because it's like the teams that was there, I honestly don't feel like they would have been there.
Yeah. I mean, I think the other thing was because a lot of people, even, back in April, they were pretty much saying like, all right, let's just like crown the Thunder. So I think that was the other thing, that so many people didn't want to watch the finals because they already knew like what the end result was going to be.
Yeah. So we just go run by like Steph injury, LeBron injury, Luka got injured in the playoffs, Halliburton got injured in the playoffs, Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, Aaron Gordon, John Morant, Dame got injured, Jason Tatum, Jimmy Butler, Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, and those are just the stars. Those are not even talking about the people that come off the bench. Like
Right.
so, you see, every series has had an injury that impacted the way that the playoffs is going to go.
Let me ask you this though, because I've already seen people saying that this championship should have an asterisk next to it.
I mean, you're a champion. You're a champion,
Right.
I mean, you can't help who you play against
Yeah.
and what type of team you go against.
Uh-huh.
Like, I mean, a champion. But to me, like I was telling you, like this is up there though with that COVID ring. Like, to me, because if you look at that COVID ring, Milwaukee was the best team throughout the entire season until COVID happened, and then they shut basketball down. They lose that fire and that momentum.
It also allowed a lot of injuries in that case actually like worked against Milwaukee because it gave people time to heal from injuries.
Time to practice, time to catch up, and then Milwaukee could never get that foot in. Shout out to LeVar Ball. They can never get that foot in again.
Yeah.
And then the Lakers just stumbled upon that championship.
Right.
And then even this one, like, I can't say that the Thunder played against the best of the best. Because if you look at even when they played against Denver, yeah, Joker was hooping, but then you got to look at it. Murray was coming back from injury. And he was trying to get his conditioning and his timing and his rhythm. Like, yeah, he looked good in spurts, but it wasn't sustainable.
Right.
And then when we thought, like, oh, yeah, the Nuggets might do it, Aaron Gordon go down. So I don't want to put an asterisk behind it because you play against who you play against. You are still a champion.
Right.
So you can't help who get injured, but I just don't think that they played against the best of the best.
Agreed.
So that's me. I mean, I wish I could put an asterisk behind it, but I mean they're still champions at the end of the day.
Right. It is what it is. Like, there's been champions from lockout shortened seasons and stuff. Like, they were just more conditioned. Let's just say that they were the healthiest team in the playoffs, and sometimes that's what matters is health.
Yeah, health and luck.
Yeah.
That's what they always say about championships. Sometimes you just got to get healthy. You got to hit some shots, and you got to hope the other team miss some too.
Right.
But now, speaking of the Thunder, now that they're crowned champions, do you see them repeating?
No,
Think it was a one and done?
I wouldn't say one and done. I feel like they would be. They would. I think if we're going to see them get bounced out the Western Conference Finals, like have some long like semifinals and stuff. But I just don't envision them. Like, they're not repeating.
Yeah, I mean, only reason I say one and done because now you have the champion label behind it. So a lot of teams, once they win that championship, the hunger goes away.
Right.
I think this was just a team that was just hungry. And they was out for blood when they realized everybody that was in their way was injured. So
Yeah.
I think they was hungry. We know about young teams. They hungry first time for that championship. But can they keep that hunger? Can they remain humble?
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. Or will this championship get to their heads now?
Right, because the other thing is, as history has shown, like for the last 7-8 seasons now, no one's repeated. So, just recently, like, history has shown like that they're not going to like repeat next year.
Yeah. And then my thing is, did they play this hard knowing that this might be their final season together as a group?
Yeah.
Because you got 3 players that got to get paid. Shea, we know going to get paid. Chet, his contract, rookie contract up. Jalen Williams, his contract up.
Mm-hmm.
Can you keep Caruso? Like, I feel like they won. Now they have to make major decisions.
Right.
Business decisions. And them being in Oklahoma, can you keep those players around? Yeah, you got draft picks that you can give away and you can bring in more players and stuff. But
can you afford to keep the core?
And that's the big question. Would this be Oklahoma when James Harden and KD and Russell Westbrook was there?
Mm-hmm.
Like, would this be, okay, we got this finals run, now I feel like I'm a superstar, so now I got to go somewhere else and put the team on my back.
Right.
Would this be one of those situations all over again?
Yeah.
So, but if they do remain the core intact, would that hunger, would that passion still be there?
No. I think the hunger and passion will still be there, but I don't know, like the NBA and these players are like constantly evolving and they're adapting much faster than they have previously.
It sound like aliens.
Yeah. I don't anticipate us seeing a legitimate dynasty again for quite some time.
Yeah. And then you gotta look at it. Yeah, you won.
Mm-hmm.
But now teams are scheming how to beat you.
Right.
They are getting players that can match up against you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's always, I don't want to say it's easy to win the first one. It's harder to defend the title.
Yeah.
Because you won that first one, nobody expected it.
Mm-hmm.
Now that second one, when everybody expect you to win, can you win? Can you defend the crown now when
Right.
everybody is gunning for you?
Right.
Everybody is building teams and rosters just to beat you.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, that's the harder part. And just a side note, isn't it weird that Oklahoma old Big Three, they all play for Houston now?
That's something.
KD just got traded to Houston. Russell Westbrook got traded to Houston,
Mm-hmm.
and James Harden went to Houston.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? That's I don't know. That's weird. So I guess that just let the cat out of the bag. KD got traded to Houston over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that trade?
I like it for Phoenix. I don't like it for Houston.
Yeah.
Like Houston, they weren't, in my opinion, a KD away from winning the championship. Dylan Brooks gave them a defensive identity, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Jalen Green, I know like he's up and down, but like I feel like that was a better equipped team, and they just needed to go out there and find another scorer, like maybe somebody to like legitimately come off the bench and give them like a spark. But getting KD and then just like leveraging like your future, that was crazy to me.
Yeah. See, Houston has a lot of bench players.
Did you say bitch players?
Bench.
Oh,
Bench.
I'm like, all right, like I know that Golden State series still stung a little bit, but I mean, dang.
If I was LeBron, I would be saying that because you remember they was calling him a bitch. No, but a lot of good bench players that can start in the NBA. So me, I probably would have try to package some of the bench players around along with those picks to keep KD.
Yeah,
but like we said before, Dylan Brooks is a poor version of Draymond.
Mm-hmm.
Right? With all those antics and stuff. I don't think that KD wanted to deal with that again.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
So I think that's the reason why Brooks had left. Because no other reason why you would say Dylan Brooks. Because like you said, he give you that, even though I don't like him, he make the game ugly for you.
Mm-hmm.
He's that physical, dominant presence. Like, I feel like when Dylan Brooks got traded, they lost their identity.
Yeah.
He was that tough guy.
He was met with Memphis?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, both.
Yeah.
Because you think Memphis wasn't tough after that anymore. They didn't have that hard-nosed defense that they was known for.
Mm-hmm.
And then even now, like, I feel like people rallied around all that craziness that he came with.
Right.
And now...
The coach was out there acting the fool. Like,
Yeah, so you lost that now. And I mean, sure, KD is going to give you buckets, and now the Houston, they're going to have probably a better offense, or I'll say more efficient offense, but defensively, you lost something.
Yeah.
Because unless you're saying, I'm going to pay a man, and then I think he's ready. So maybe that was one of those things where it was a decision. Do we keep Thompson, or do we keep Brooks? Because we can't have two players that do the same thing.
Yeah.
So who are we keeping? And A-Man is cheaper than Dylan Brooks.
Right.
Younger, more athletic. So
just overall less problematic.
yes. So maybe that was that. Jalen Green, I would never given up on Jalen Green. Yeah, he was inconsistent in the playoffs, but you got to realize anybody that's holding Steph Curry will be inconsistent because you got to run around all day. And but then not just that, you have a team that shares the ball that you don't. I mean, yeah, he was your leading scorer in the season, but it's not like he was giving you 30 a game.
Right.
So I would never given up on him. Like, for me, when a player is up and down like that, it's not his game, it's more mental. So me, I would have just tried to figure out how can we get him locked in.
Right.
Versus trading on him, because what you think this dude hits his mentality now?
Exactly. And then the fact that it sounds like Phoenix, they're already looking to move him too.
Yeah. I mean, because you got to think about it. He does have a big contract, though.
Yeah.
So that's one of those things is his contract doesn't match his game at this point. But when they paid him, they needed to pay him because that's all they had before they brought in the Van Fleets and Dylan Brooks and stuff. So you had to pay him because he was the best thing you had at that time.
Right. So
it makes sense. Money-wise, it still makes sense because to bring in KD's contract, you have to give money off the books. I just think it's an interesting trade for Houston. Phoenix got exactly what they wanted. Like you said, they got their draft picks back, and you got two players. And it's funny you mentioned Jalen Green because I was wondering, was Dylan Brooks going to be on the move? I was always wondering, would they keep Jalen Green because now Phoenix have two 20-point scorers in the backcourt, and I was wondering, like, what do you do with Dylan Brooks? Do you trade him for draft picks or more servable players, or do you keep him?
Because he might be on the move too.
Yeah, because it's him or Bradley Beal for me because you can't play all of them because who's going to go on the bench?
Right.
You have three guards. You have three guards. Somebody has to go to the bench. And out of those, who come off the bench? Jalen Green ain't coming off the bench.
Right. I know it was initially discussed that Beal should come off the bench, but that was when like KD was still over there. So things have changed now. Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if Phoenix tries to make a splash draft night.
Oh yeah, one of those players for some. Yeah, move either up and down. Yeah, yeah. Because right now, the 10th pick isn't a bad pick either. Right. And they got a whole bunch of second round picks. So that's like they in a good position.
Yeah, be on the lookout for it. I feel like they're gonna try to like do a package. They're gonna try to move up.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, I will put Dylan Brooks in there and some picks.
Yeah.
Dylan Brooks. I keep Green. I like the backcourt of
Booker and
Jalen Green.
Yeah,
I like that more. I don't, because Booker not with Booker not with the stuff either.
Yeah.
So I don't see how him and Dylan Brooks get along because Booker ain't with that. Booker like KD, right? I just want to hoop. I'm not with all that extra stuff.
Yeah.
And the Phoenix team, if you look at the Phoenix team, there's nowhere in the Phoenix team where somebody's going to match Dylan Brooks' energy. I could see him getting into a scuffle and Dylan Brooks just walking away like, bro,
what are you doing?
Like, that ain't what we on. Right. Jalen Green fit that culture. He fit what they want to do. He's a young player. And then to me, he could feed off of Booker.
Yeah.
I think the Phoenix problem is they just need a point guard.
Yeah, because they thrived under Chris Paul. So
Yeah.
we'll see. Like, well, no, Chris Paul announced his retirement, didn't he? So he's done. I don't know. We'll see. Like, we'll see if they try to like pick up a point guard, like, through free agency or something. But yeah, they for sure need a point guard because Booker, he's going to end up, I feel like, devolving. He's going to go back to like those first few years in Phoenix when he was scoring a lot, but it meant absolutely nothing.
Yeah, because even if you look at Phoenix for the season, defensively, they was ranked high. So their problem wasn't like we can't stop anybody. Problem is we don't know who's getting the ball and when they're getting the ball.
Right.
Because it was that open gym mentality. KD, you go get yours. Booker go get his. And then I forget the point guard that they brought over there. But he turned into something that they didn't even think he was going to be. Because when he played with Memphis, low turnover, solid player. And then all of a sudden, I want to shoot my shots too. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
There's no real direction over there. And I know Buff probably felt like, you know what, I can do the same thing I did in Milwaukee. You have different players, bro.
Yeah.
You have different players. So, to me, you have to bring in a system. You have to create a culture. Their problem is they have no culture over there.
Right.
They just hoopers. So, I mean, it might work out for both teams, but I don't know. Phoenix are a couple of players away from actually establishing something. You don't need scorers over there.
Yeah.
You had the most efficient scorer in NBA history over there, and it didn't work.
But I'm just happy like that Phoenix made this move because at least for them now, like people were saying that they were going to just be, just like wiped out for like the next decade or so. They now have, I don't know, at least like I feel like they have a brighter future ahead of them.
Yeah. Yeah, and in Houston, hope you know what you're doing.
Or y'all might have a problem.
Definitely will, because you only have KD for the next 2 to 3 years. So, yeah, I don't know, because now you asking him to do more. Now you expecting him to do more, right? So I don't think they really thought this through.
Yeah.
I don't really think it, because you expecting Kevin Durant to turn into his Warriors in Oklahoma days,
Right. And that ain't going to happen.
No, because him going over there just giving you the 25, 26 a game that he's been giving, that's not enough. That's going to help them compete,
Right.
but that's not enough.
The crazy part, they were already competing though. So you just, I don't know. I don't like the pickup for Houston. It just doesn't make any sense. You got rid of too much younger players for someone like that you expect to help you win now, and unless they're about to start moving a lot more pieces for the off season, I just don't see this working out for Houston.
Yeah, and to me, I like KD. You plug him in any system, he gonna do what he always do, right? He's able to do what he always do. But with Houston, their problem was they needed more shooting.
Yeah.
You just needed shooters. You see, when they played against the Warriors, they just couldn't knock down shots consistently. They just needed shooters.
Right.
That's it. Not one player. You needed shooters. That's it. That's what I went out. I would have went out and got shooters. But kudos to Phoenix.
Yeah.
Hey, you pulled it off. Pulled it off. You was able to get your future back.
Right.
So shout outs to them. Again, prayers go up to Holly. Hopefully you have a speedy recovery. Just hopefully you come back healthy and don't rush it because you feel like you have to come back. You have time. We sad. NBA season has come to an end. But again, we're not just a sport podcast. We're not just the NBA podcast. Right? So make sure y'all stay locked in. Make sure y'all stay tuned in. Over the weekend, We hit 5,000 subscribers.
Yep.
Close to 6,000 now.
Yeah, that's what I last saw.
Yeah. So thank you for supporting us again.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I am Armando.
I'm Daryl.
Thank you.
Yeah, I saw that earlier today. We are at like 5,800.
Oh wait, hold on. I got it. Before we sign off. Sorry. I know y'all thought I was done. Sorry. I had to come because I just thought about this.
Yeah.
Somebody promised us a cake. And I don't want to put you on blast. Andrea. But you owe us a cake. I'm just saying.
Hey.
If heaven offer rides, Lord, order me a lift. I'm just trying to be in your presence since you blessed me with this gift. All of my friends dead and gone. No time to right their wrongs. Heaven must have